I like when there's a new, exciting new thing to tackle in my career. You know what I mean? Like, I don't ever feel like, well, I'm supposed to be here and I'm supposed to be, every door is supposed to be open. Like, there's a part of you that kind of like wants to talk your and feel like, oh, I gotta like re-earn this, but it doesn't put me off. It actually excites me. You know what I mean? Like, it makes it fun. And it also wasn't even more so like just about being tired of doing makeup. It's like, what are some ways that I can like tie in my community to get to know me without necessarily like exploiting my personal life? You know what I mean? I feel like as a creator, that's a really, really difficult thing to do, is to figure out how to keep the content fun, exciting. To me, it was just like, let's just bring people in ways that like I never really, because you know, pivoting is hard as a creator, TJ. When people know you for one thing, they want to keep you there and they don't want to see all of the like, okay, go back to what she was doing. And like the audience was so receptive to it, excited about it, and it felt like it was the perfect time because it was like right when COVID hit, people weren't wearing makeup. So it was like, if I'm gonna pivot, now's the time to do it.
Hi everybody and welcome to this video. I don't know if you've worked out what I'll talk about today from the jackieaina clip, but don't worry, I'm going to tell you all about it. Okay, so this clip that I just inserted in this video is jackieaina. So she is a content creator, if you don't know, here on YouTube. She's been on YouTube for the longest, and she actually has like a military background, but decided to go into YouTube and content create and tell us all really cool makeup tips, doing her makeup tutorials. That's how I found her. I found her personality so funny. When she would tell stories with makeup everywhere and all the colours and everything, and that's why I obviously would like to watch her. And so when jackieaina actually decided to bring out her own product, most people thought it would be to do with makeup, and it was quite a surprise when it wasn't. Forever Mood is her brand, and that she has with her husband, I believe, and they brought out candles, and it's all scent based. So now they brought out scents, fragrance. So that's what she does, which was quite different to what I knew her for. And I was actually really fortunate to meet her. Actually, she came to London with Too Faced Cosmetics, because she did quite a lot of brand collabs and things like that. And she came to London with Too Faced, and that was really nice. That was quite a while ago. So I've just always been quite fond of her. So in this video clip, you would have seen that she was talking about moving more into the fashion space, and was talking about how people sort of were so used to her doing one thing, even being on one platform, that when she tried to something else, it was a bit like, oh my word, what are you doing? Or I think you should go on there, or whatever it was. It was almost like she had to seek permission from her, her community or people in general, just to do something else that she wanted to do. And I obviously I'm not jackieaina, I'm not saying I'm the same, but this whole almost like seeking permission to be able to do what you want is something that I've kind of had issues with growing up for the longest. It has been getting on my nerves, only because I don't think that I should have to. I don't see why I have to be explaining why I want to do certain things, or why I'm doing certain things, or why I'm doing multi things. Now, this is what you must have heard of the figure of speech, jack of all trades. Now, for my research, I found out that the first time that phrase or that figure of speech was first seen was in an essay in the 17th century, and it was used to describe people who were just multi-skilled. And it was a good thing you being a jack of all trades, you being able to do this and that and this and that. It was seen as something so positive. But by the 18th century, master of none was added, and it was not. And I tried to figure out why, and looking from what I've been reading and seeing, I'm summarizing this, that due to what was happening with advancements and the growth, positive growth, there was a need for people to be more specialist in things, so be able to do things the right way. So you couldn't just be a plumber and electrician. It's like, okay, let's get the electrician to do focus on this, and there was a need for that. There was a need for specialism, and that's okay. It does make sense. It is wise to tell people, do one thing and do it well. There's no harm in that. But the problem is almost like as if you're not you can't. And the way it began with people being skilled, that thing has kind of gone. It's almost there's no skill when you describe someone today as a jack of all trades, master of none. It's like as if you don't have any skill. It's like as if you're just flippant in what you want to do. You don't know where you're coming, where you're going. You're just doing something, you're not doing it right, and it doesn't seem like anything positive at all. It's not. And so growing up, I have been able to do quite a few things, I suppose better than at least my classmates, at least better than, better than average. So I was able to run quite fast. I was quite athletic, so I represented the school and the county and the borough and things like that. Just I didn't want to do it anymore. But then at the same time, art was also a strength of mine, and English was a strength of mine. But I always felt like I couldn't do all of them. It was almost like, how dare you pick one? Not because you didn't want to do it. Like I said, I decided I didn't want to do athletics anymore. But it's almost like you're not even allowed. You cannot. You pick one and you specialize in it, and off you go. But I remember thinking, but how can I combine them both together? And that whole combining thing has kind of been something that's fueled my life, really. Kind of going against the grain of this jack of all trades, master of none business. And so in university, I picked psychology and media actually because I loved psychology. I did well in the A levels and things. But funny enough, after a semester, we were told that look, the way the classes are, you're going to have to choose another one, drop one, because they both are going to be on at the same time. So I couldn't do psychology and media. So I ended up dropping psychology as much as I loved it. But education and employment was there. So it was education training, but also employment, like HR and business and things. And that really worked well with the subjects that were in media. So I was able to kind of find a way to blend them together. But when I did my one semester in psychology, I remember we did a self-taught test. We'll talk about these kind of tests you can do, psychometric tests and things like that. And I did one test, and I found that I was equally right-brained as I was left-brained, so I'm creative and very strategic and analytical at the same time, which I've always kind of kept here in my heart, knowing that actually you're both. That's probably why I've been in contention with this whole thing. And I did the test again, funny enough, in 2025, and it was the same thing. It was the same thing. I'm equally right-brained as I'm left-brained. And then I did my DNA a while ago, but I paid for the traits. You can pay for some traits to find a bit more about you. And I found out that yes, as per my DNA, it's the same thing. It's just me. It's just who I am. Being able to do quite a few things. So growing up, obviously getting a job and everything, I ended up just picking a job more for the less of the media side, because those weren't paying great. So I used the other strength, and I found out I was just doing both. So I had dual careers. So I'd join a company as a project manager, but end up as a marketing leader as well. It always just happened. That was always the trajectory of my life, doing both things. So it's funny to me when people say, why, because some people, now I work for myself, so people actually remember work in my professional career when I did a lot of media marketing side of things. They love the ideation, the creation, everything. So like, please come and do that for us here. And I've been like, oh yes, I'll go. And then somebody else will be like, oh, can I hire you for this? And I'll be like, oh yes, I'll go. Because I learned business and things like that, and I've had a drive to do it. I also set up my own business and things, and that's been fun. But some people only know me for one or the other, or some, a part of me. And so when they meet me, they said, oh, do you do this and you do this? Almost like questioning why. Like I'm being punished. But the truth is, I love all those kind of things, and I feel like I should be allowed to do those things, especially as it's been organic. And I think the most important thing is being wise at things. Before I did my own business, I worked professionally for the longest, and I still do, and I loved it, and I made sure I did my best to go into work and do a good job. Even now, I wouldn't have people hire me to do things for them if I just was shoddy, if I didn't do things as well as I can. I'm not like the the best at anything, but I know what my strengths are, and I work as hard as I can to do those things really well. That's what I'm trying to exactly say. So please, I think, like, you know, it might seem strange to see that, oh, you do this and oh, you do that. As long as, I tell people, as long as you're doing them the best of your ability, not willy-nilly everywhere, just stick into it and make sure you master those things. So it's not like a master of none. I've mastered all. I'm mastering them all, and I'm committed to them because I want to do them. And so I should. You do things with excellence, and you apply wisdom to it. I understand, but I want to make sure I do that, because some people might say, well, aren't you an author as well? I'm like, yeah, because I said, like, I did English. I love English, and growing up, we just wrote stories and acted and played in the home because we didn't have a TV. My parents wouldn't allow it, not because they another story. But anyway, because they believed it was a bad box. But anyway, but then we you know, wrote a lot of stories in our heads and our minds and things. So when I saw a competition to write a book, I did, and then I got it, and then the book was published, and then tra-la, I became an author. And I'm still refining, because obviously some of my you know, manuscripts some get declined and some don't, but I'm still doing my best to master them all. I breathe. So I think I really wanted to kind of encourage people who've kind of felt like, hang on a minute, why can't I do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, why not? Think about it. So Molly-Mae is another content creator that I follow on YouTube. She was on YouTube before Love Island, actually, and obviously she's gone on now to have her own company called Maybe, and you know, Maybe launched, and I do like, it's very Molly-Mae, isn't it? It's very what she is. But I was just watching her Prime series, the last 3 that she dropped, Behind It All, I believe it's called, and this is what she had to say that kind of surprised me about when she did she launched like a community for her community, like a van. So it was a van that she'd branded up with, maybe it was giving away free beverages and things like that. And I thought, oh, this is nice. She's doing International Women's Day, is something to give back to women. But there was more to it than that.
Potentially in the future, maybe could branch out into having a coffee shop space. We had an idea that to sort of test the waters and see how it could look. We're going to look into potentially renting like a van that we can make a Maybe coffee van, and do a mini pop-up in Manchester and see the response and see if people love it.
Okay, so you just heard what I was listening to, what I watched was, and it's all in the same time as me watching this whole Jackie thing, all in this whole one weekend. I thought, oh my gosh, I never realised that she did that to trial having her own, like, sort of her own cafe and things like that. I was quite surprised, and I thought, you go, because that looked like it was done well. You saw how she was managing it. It was her stamp on things. Yes, she looked like she had help and maybe had money and whatever to, but not. Let's put all that aside. It's the fact that she was doing that to trial maybe like a Maybe cafe. But if you watch her YouTube channel, you see that actually I can kind of see it, because she's always in the drive-through getting some kind of drink, and she's always having cookies and always drink. She loves, always in Gales, always in Costa, always drinking something. So it's nice that she probably wants to do that. Like, why not? And I think that's a positive thing. Like, go ahead and do whatever you want to do, but make sure you do it well. That brings me to Kim Kardashian. Now let's watch the trailer for her new series that she's in, All Fair. All is fair. All is fair.
Deep breath. Tell us your story.
It's been a lot. I'm sorry.
No. We don't meet with sorry people.
Okay, so when I watched that, I don't know about you, I was kind of like, this kind of looks quite good. This kind of looks quite good. And then like the same thought came to my mind. It's like, okay, why not? Why can't Kim Kardashian do content creating, do skims, be an actor, and everything else that she wants to do, as long as it's done really well? And I don't think that Bollywood would have given her the part or backed that if it was. Okay, so I just hope that this video encouraged anybody who is trying to do a number of things but working on doing them really well. You don't have to feel you need permission to do it. Just as long as you know you're doing them as best as you can and to your own ability, and seeking advice and making sure you're doing it better than everybody else and trying. Why not? If you want to do a bit of gardening, write a book, be a baker, if God's gifted you with all these things, do them. Because even talking about biblical stuff, God gave some people 1 talent, some people 10. That's how the world is. And you know, I was looking at what's the other side of this whole thing. What's the other end of the spectrum? If jack of all trades is that, what's here? And that's like a polymath, somebody who's disciplined in at least 7 different things. So it's almost like in between your nonsense. But if you could do 7, you know. But that's the other end of the things. And I was thinking, actually, in athletics, it's true. You get this heptathletes who have to master 7 different activities within the race, and they do them really, really well. There's a whole race for them to celebrate the fact that they can do all these 7 different things and do them really well, you know, in the Olympics or whatever the games are. So that shows, even if I'm in the middle somehow, even if I can do 3 things really, really well, then that's okay, everybody. Let's